Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, November 15th, 2020, and this is Truly News. I am your host, Jason Van Sickle. It is a new day, which always brings a fresh start in a world full of opportunities. So, believe in yourself, remain optimistic, and focus on the positive. As you start this new day, let's begin by increasing your knowledge and expanding your insights with a review of the many fascinating things that are happening in the world as we take a look at today's news. As always, we start with a look at the top news from across the country, and here are the issues that are leading today's news. The U.S. hit another record high with daily COVID cases as the number of people testing positive exceeded 2,000 on Saturday. As the number of cases continues to soar, hospitals are starting to struggle. The Midwest is being especially hard hit as many rural hospitals are beginning to reach capacity. In an effort to slow the spread, 35 states have now enacted face mask requirements. In political news, thousands of Trump supporters rallied in Washington on Saturday following Trump's lead in claiming voter fraud. Despite the lack of any evidence being found that there were irregularities or interference in the election, Trump supporters echoed the president's claims with chants of "Stop the steal" and "Count every vote." In the meantime, Trump's legal challenges continued to be dismissed as Biden worked to project a calm and reassuring tone. As he has consistently done since winning the election, the president-elect is promoting a message of unity. As illness and social unrest rattle the country, signs of hope arrive. On Saturday, spirits were raised as the Rockefeller Christmas tree was hoisted into place in the heart of New York City. The tree will now begin the process of receiving over 5 miles of electrical wires containing 30,000 multicolored lights, which will officially be lit on December 2nd. And, as Tiny Tim would say, God bless us, everyone. And that is your top news for today. Now, in our look beyond the major headlines, let's start with the latest developments in science, technology, and space exploration. In science news, scientists create swarms of drones capable of remote research. A new way of making remote observations has been developed by scientists at Stanford University. Using swarms of drones that are coordinated by the team's software, scientists develop a way to make observations over remote areas. In an article published in the journal Science Robotics, the researchers described how drones were used to observe a remote colony of penguins in the Arctic. In technology news, conservatives leave Twitter and Facebook for an uncensored website. Fueled by the defeat of Trump in the election and a sense that conservatives have been unfairly targeted for censorship on social media, many conservatives are moving to a new social platform called Parler. The new social media site is touted as a replacement for Twitter and Facebook, with the promise that people's views won't be censored. Since the end of the election, the site has seen millions of new users. In space news, astronomers take the first photograph of planets around another sun. For the first time, scientists have photographed planets around another star. In a report in the Astrophysical Journal Letters, astronomers revealed a photograph that shows a sun-like star 300 light-years away and 2 planets that can clearly be seen orbiting the star. Scientists have discovered thousands of planets orbiting other stars across the galaxy, but these are the first to be observed visually. And that is your science, technology, and space news for today. Now we look at the latest in health, social, and environmental news. In health news, measles is on the rise in countries around the world. In a study by the World Health Organization and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, published this week in the journal Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, Researchers reveal that the global cases of measles is rapidly increasing. Fear over the safety of vaccines is one factor leading to the resurgence. Since 2016, the number of annual cases has risen from 132,000 to 870,000. In social news, researchers show how religion has hampered science and technology. According to new research published by Italian researchers in the journal American Economic Review, religion can hamper technological and economic progress. Using lessons from the Second Industrial Revolution in France, researchers show how religion can influence curriculum and promote an anti-science and technology attitude, findings that seem to have implications in today's world. In environmental news, heavy rains cause farm fertilizers to contaminate rivers and oceans. One form of pollution that affects rivers and oceans is nitrogen runoff from fertilizers. When nitrogen gets into the water, it starves out oxygen, which kills aquatic life. New research from Iowa State University and published in the journal Communications, Earth and Environment finds that heavy rains transport most of the runoff. This insight can help farmers better time their fertilization to minimize contamination. And that is your health, social, and environmental news for today. Now it is time for our look at economic and world news. In economic news, the Department of Labor's Producer Price Index rose slightly last month. On Friday, the U.S. Department of Labor released the monthly Producer Price Index. The economic indicator measures the change in average price of supplies that manufacturers purchase to produce goods. A big increase can signal inflation. The new release shows costs of inputs up only slightly for manufacturers in October, which was based primarily on an increase in the cost of food and gasoline. In world news, over 100 ancient Egyptian coffins unearthed by archaeologists. On Saturday, archaeologists in Egypt unveiled more than 100 coffins that were found in a large burial ground in Saqqara necropolis. That area is along the Nile River and just south of Cairo. Saqqara is a region known for its pyramids and stone buildings. The coffins date back 2,500 years, resembling other human-shaped and brightly painted coffins that have been unearthed in various areas across Egypt. And that is your economic and world news for today. To wrap things up, we take a look at your entertainment options with newly released movies, shows, and books. In newly released movies, today's movie is Flamingo. Starring Emma Leonard and Ryan O'Kane, Frankie and Ben are stranded together on a rooftop for the weekend when the door blows shut following an office party. Flamingo is now showing on Amazon Prime. In newly released shows, today's show is Uncovered. Inspired by real events, undercover agents infiltrate a drug king's operation by posing as a couple at the campground where he spends his weekends. Episodes of Uncovered are now showing on Netflix. Finally, in newly published books, today's book is The Best of Me. This newest book by David Sedaris is a collection of the humorist's essays including Me Talk Pretty One Day and A Guy Walks Into a Bar Car. This book is presently number 3 on the New York Times nonfiction bestseller list. And that is your entertainment news for today. As always, we end our broadcast with Hope for Humanity, stories about the goodness and kindness that people show each other every day. And here is today's story. Elementary school students learn lessons of empathy and kindness. From Harding Elementary in Mason City, Iowa, a school promotes a spirit of kindness among its students. In fact, the motto of Harding Elementary includes a pledge to be kind, and the curriculum reflects that mission. Every day, students are taught lessons that include ways to be kind to each other, to teachers, and to the people that they meet in life. One of the key methods for teaching students about kindness is to teach them the meaning of empathy. As students learn to think about others, it instills an attitude that will follow them throughout their life. And that is your news for November 15th, 2020. Have a wonderful day.